there, my bitches. Welcome back to episode 2 of The Which Bitch is Sick. So if you haven't listened to episode 1, you're probably not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I would go listen to episode 1 so that way you're caught up and know what the hell's going on. I didn't really know where I wanted to start with this episode. I was going through a bunch of your emails and messages and comments and DMs. I was going to start with addressing some of those, but I don't really know who wants me to share what, like if you want your stories told or not, because a lot of people, and goes to, prove my point. Mind you, if I am talking weird, I have like 4 root canals going on in my mouth, and it's like my tongue is like rubbing up against like the like that jagged tooth. I'm still dealing with this fucking tooth shit, and it's like, so my tongue hurts, my teeth hurt, it's like it's going into my brain hurting, my ears hurt, like, so it's just we're just rolling with it. We are just rolling with it. Okay, it is what it isn't. Anyways, like I said in the last episode, you don't really realize how many other people out there are suffering with a chronic illness every day, because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. And I feel like going through some things that people were saying, and just like things that I've heard from people, like I've gotten like, oh, you're going to talk about, your disease, like to like everyone. Like, yeah, like, what, why not? Like I said, just oversharing comes naturally to me. So I don't see it as a big deal to kind of share. I feel like a lot of people are worried about being judged, and that's why they don't speak about it. And honestly, they're right, because people judge. People are judgy, especially on the fucking internet. I'm not saying you guys, but internet is fucking wild, bro. Like, if you know, you know. Like, it's just some things that I read or hear, anyways. You get judged. You get judged every single fucking day, and people don't want to deal with it. And I get that, and that's another part of one of the reasons I left. I'm going to just tell you which hospital I left, because I'm not there anymore. I left Cornell, and I'm calling their asses out. Like, I don't like the way they treated me. I think I was judged and stereotyped from the minute I walked in the door. I don't like the way they were handling my medical anything. I did not like my whole experience there. So, sorry, Cornell. Hasta fucking la vista. I don't care what good things anybody says about them. You love them. I don't. And so that's that. Side note. Just have to throw that in there. Yeah, just have to throw that in there. But you do get judged depending on what your disease is. Diseases. Yeah, depending on what you are diagnosed with, or what you have, or your symptoms. People will judge you, and they'll think you're lazy. They think you're stupid when you have brain fog. I have liver cirrhosis. Automatically assume I'm an alcoholic. Like, the minute I walked through the door, they saw me. They saw the whole look, the tattoos, the colored hair, the young. Oh, I'm a bartender of this. Immediately, I'm an alcoholic addict. I have a problem. I need to be checked into rehab. Like, and if you have to, that's fine. But that's not my case. And that was very much what they were focusing on. Instead of focusing on how we're fixing my liver, it was just, how are we getting you help? And how are we going to stop your addiction? And it's like, that's not me. Just because I have a disease of the liver does not automatically make me an alcoholic. Have I drank alcohol? Do I like to drink? Yes. But guess what? 90% of fucking adults out there drink alcohol and like to drink. I was in my 20s, my early 30s. I was out. I was partying with my friends on weekends. I was having wine at home, while I'm cooking. Like, I was drinking like every other normal adult. My body just couldn't tolerate it. But they automatically, because you have the disease, you are looked as the addict. Like, and the same thing with any other chronic illness. They assume you're an addict because they think you want painkillers. Like, when you say this hurts, and that hurts, and just because they can't see your pain or your labs look fine, they're they automatically stereotype you and they assume, oh, they're an addict, they're pill poppers, they're just looking for pain medication. They're like, no, we're fucking in pain. You just can't see it. Okay? Like, it's ridiculous the way you are perceived, especially in the hospital and by doctors. It's like they don't see past a diagnosis and the way you present yourself. And it's very, very frustrating. Like, it's very frustrating that and they don't believe you. It's like they don't believe anything you say. And it's like they see how many times you're in the hospital sometimes, and they're like, oh, this, frequent flyer, they must like to check in here. No, I don't want to be in the hospital at all, ever. I never want to see another doctor again. I never want to take it. Like, I don't want to take a pill. I don't want to take a medicine. I don't want to take I don't want to do none of this shit. It's just, we have to survive. And the fact that we're judged and stereotyped by our doctors especially is fucking mind-blowing to me. So then you have all of the other people, in the outside world who have their 2 cents to put into things. Like, I know when I'm late to things, I always get the comments. Oh, she's late again. Oh, yeah, I'm fucking late again. You're lucky I got up out of bed this morning. How about that? Okay? Like, some days, it's really fucking hard. Guess what? I'm late, but I'm here. And guess what? If I wasn't there, I wasn't there. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sick of having to apologize to people if I don't go to something, or I have to cancel a plan, or if I don't answer a text message or an email, or like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not purposely trying not to come to your event or hang out with you or see you or speak to you. It's sometimes I'm so overstimulated and I don't have the energy to even, like, I just don't have the energy to do it. I don't have it in me. And some days I'll read messages, but I just physically cannot. I just can't. I just can't. And if you can't understand that, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but I am not going to apologize. Like, I'm notorious for not answering phone calls, text messages, emails, DMs. I know that, but sometimes it gets so overwhelming. Like I said, it's brain overstimulation. It's a lot. And I appreciate when everybody, tries to reach out, or just, or they send me something and I don't get back. It's just like the comments, like oh, you're ignoring me and oh, you're this. No, I'm not ignoring you. I'm ignoring everyone. So just bear with me, people. I'm also trying to get back to anyone that emailed me or messaged me with questions about my disease, or like questions they had about their disease that they were, things that I've tried. So I'm working on getting back to those. But just my tongue. I had a plan for this and I just went on a tangent. Anyways, I digress. My fellow spoonies will understand what I mean when we say we're tired of having to apologize for a disease we didn't ask for. Like, we didn't ask for this, and some days we just can't. So you got to bear with us. It's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't want to talk to you. It's not that we don't want to see you. It's just sometimes we can't. Like, just can't. And especially me, I'm an empath, and I absorb people's energy that are around me. And when people are frantic and super anxious and super this and that, it starts me, and it's like, it's enough. I can't. So yeah, I actually just came back from acupuncture tonight because the last couple of days my brain has just been on overdrive, like where the point where like my hands are shaking. And I only used to get that when like my Lyme disease would flare up, when I get like really stressed, or like it like triggers my nervous system and my hands will shake. Like, I was painting a couple of signs at the bar the other night and I couldn't draw a straight line. I was eating soup and had to use both hands to like put the spoon in my mouth. Like, the shakes were like out of control. And it feels like there's like my organs on the inside are like maracas, like shaking. It's a very weird feeling. And I don't know, my brain feels like it's trying to like explode out of its head because it's doing too many things. And then it's also in pain from my tooth. And surprisingly, see, like when I turned, like I said, from the last episode, this is kind of like therapy. I don't know why, But when a camera turns on in front of me, none of that exists anymore. The anxiety, the shaking, it just doesn't. I don't know. When I ramble, it goes away. The fucking birds. This is the worst time. Between 4 and 5:30, the fucking birds chirping. I want to. I hate it. I hate it. Anyways, enough of this spiel. I'm going to talk to you about my last hospital adventure, because that just got thrown in to the mix unexpectedly. And this was not what this episode was going to be about, because I didn't know this was going to happen, but I figured this would be a great first start to talking about what the fuck goes on in the hospital. So, where shallst we begin? So once a week, I go for a paracentesis. So your liver builds up this fluid and like shoots it out like into your fucking body. It doesn't hold. However, the scientific way, your body does not hold on to the liquid properly, and it shoots out into your stomach, and it makes your stomach bloat, and it bloats like a pocket in your stomach, and then it can bloat your legs. So in my case, I'm literally like from here down gets bloated, and it kind of works with gravity. So if I'm on my feet for too long, the bloating will go down, and like my stomach will be flat, and then like my legs and my feet get really puffy, and then when I lay flat, the bloating comes back up, and then I'm bloated in my stomach, and then my legs, my feet are less swollen, and so it's like, it's a hit or miss what's going to be swollen depending on, like, if I lay on one side, this side will be flat in the morning and this side will be puffy with fluid. Like, it's very strange, and I hate it. But it makes me look like I'm fucking pregnant, because it's like I'm skinny up on top, and then it's just like poof, there's like this belly, and then like swollen legs, and I gotta like when they get too swollen, you gotta like fucking waddle around like when you're pregnant, and I just gotta be like, no, I am not pregnant. This is a fluid baby. Anyways. People wait and will go once a month. They'll stretch it. I do not. They let me go once a week. I go once a week. I want the fucking fluid out. I don't want to be swollen and puffy and bloated. I don't want it's uncomfortable. First of all, I don't like the way it looks, obviously, because I busted my ass too fucking hard to do this, to be walking around looking like I'm fucking pregnant. Okay? 2, it's uncomfortable. It hurts. It feels like you gained literally 100 pounds overnight. It stretches your skin. It pulls on your back. It pulls on your muscles. It's very, very uncomfortable. If you've ever been pregnant, this is what I would assume like being 12 months pregnant would be. I've never been pregnant, so I can't really say, but that's what I imagine like 12 months pregnant would be, like past the point of like wanting to explode. And like, it's so uncomfortable. And to walk, it's like you're out of breath. It puts pressure on your chest. So opening day, I had to walk like a half hour from where I parked at the Sky Mall all the way to the fucking stadium with that bloating. And it was not fun. So imagine when I get let me explain what a paracentesis is first of all. Paracentesis. So basically, they take the sonogram machine and they look around in your stomach and they try to find a pocket where they can suck out the fluid. So they stick a fucking lidocaine needle in your side. This is my one that I just got today. I am all bruised and I'm still swollen and puffy. Yeah, I'm all bruised from the past like 3 of them. It's just not a fun time. Thankfully, my stomach is a little bit numb because of my tummy tuck, and I'm just so used to being stuck with fucking needles, and poked and prodded, tattoo needles, hospital needles. It's like I'm just immune to it, and I have a very high tolerance for pain. Like, I have a 9.5 hour, spinal tattoo I did in one sitting. Like, Boris, my tattoo artist, he calls me a serial killer. So I'm fine with them sticking the lidocaine needle in my stomach. Most people are like, ah! I'm like, yeah, whatever. So they stick the lidocaine in you, and then they shove this like tube inside of it, and they turn the suction thing on, and it sucks out the fluid from your stomach. So it looks like they go into these glass bottles that look like you're like brewing beer. And so my normal range is usually anywhere from 3.5 liters to 6 liters is what they take out of me. So imagine 6 liters of fucking like soda strapped to your stomach and then try to walk like in a glass bottle. Like, it's when the minute like the machine starts, it's like you feel like a balloon pop in your stomach. It's like it immediately like releases like just some of that like pressure that's in there. And people will wait and go like 11, 12. The highest I heard was 18 liters. I don't understand how you're even walking at that point. Like, people, I've seen their belly buttons like popping out of there, like growing. Like, I don't know why people leave it. I think it's because they don't want to be stabbed in the stomach with a needle, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm like, no, let's go. Take this out. So I go once a week and I hang out at the radiology department. I love all my radiology peeps, so you know we make it fun. It's fun as a paracentesis is gonna get. So, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, why I went to the hospital. So I went on a Friday, got my paracentesis, normal. I do every week. This time I bled like I was bleeding like a significant amount, which I usually don't. It's like a couple of little blood drops usually, like, and then it stops. But this was like bleeding through the bandage, and like it was bleeding on the sheets, and like they couldn't stop it. So they were putting pressure on it, and I didn't lose that much blood, but my blood counts are not, normal. So I have very low blood counts to begin with. So I have to keep as much blood in my body as humanly possible. My hemoglobin drops very quickly. My platelet levels are really low, so I can't really lose a lot of blood. So a little bit of blood for me is like a lot more than a normal person. So basically my blood doesn't clot, so it just comes and does, like, so it's a little harder to stop it once it starts. So I guess it's a good thing I haven't gotten my period, since fucking September, because we'd be in big trouble otherwise. So anytime my hemoglobin drops below a 7, I have to go and get a blood transfusion because they want to keep me above a 7. So ideally, they'd like to keep me at an 8. I don't always get there. 7.5-ish is usually like where I kind of stay. When we drop to like 6, we get concerned. So every time I get a paracentesis, we take my blood. And I'm like OCD anal about checking my bilirubin counts and my creatinine and my kidney levels. Like, I'm on top of it. Like, I have the MyChart app. Like, I am on top of it, and I make them take my blood every time I leave there because I want to know what's up. Because when you do any type of paracentesis, sometimes if they take too much fluid, well, not too much fluid, if they take a substantial amount of fluid out of you, it kind of can drop your kidney levels, and then they have to give you this thing called albumin. So the albumin will help, regulate your kidney levels and your creatinine, but then it could have the potential to dilute your blood and then drop your hemoglobin, and then I have to get a blood transfusion on top of that, and it's like a whole fucking process and a half. So I always make sure we take my blood and make sure everything's, fine and dandy before I leave there. So everything great, fine, lovely. We did para. I went home. I was getting dressed for the Mets game. My mom was going to my cousin's Sweet 16. I was getting dressed for the game. And we get a phone call from the hospital, and they're like, and they've done this to me before. This is not the first time, okay? And I've told them that they have to check my counts before I leave the hospital because it's ridiculous that I get home, and then the minute I walk through the door, they call and they go, "You're dangerously low, critical alert, you need to come to the ER immediately." So what do you think? We got the phone call the minute we walk in the door. I was pissed. I was like, are we serious? Like, I was just there. Like, I'm halfway ready to go. Like I want to go see baseball. I don't want to go because now I'm already discharged. So now I have to go back to the ER and I have to start all over again. And I have to start the whole waiting process in the ER. And if you've ever been to the ER, it's not like a little skip, jump, and a walk in the park and you go right through. You could be there for fucking 10 hours before anybody talks to you. So needless to say, I was not happy about having to go. So we go back to the ER. I explained the situation to them. I was like, hi, I was just here, still have my bracelet on. Like, great. They admit me, whatever. And we're sitting. They didn't give me nothing for like 8 hours. Okay. They put me in a room and just left me there. And I'm like, is anybody going to come and give me this blood? Like, I don't understand where the blood is. Like, so we were just sitting waiting for the blood. They put the blood order in as soon as I got there. So I don't know why it took 7-8 hours to find some blood. So they bring the blood in. They hooked me up to the fucking thing, and then I got to sit there for 3 hours and wait for the blood to go in. So now, it's like almost 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. And I always get the crazy people in the ER. Like, they're just like attracted to me. Like, when I'm there, it's like, it's time. It's like, crazy people here. Especially when I have to go to the city hospitals, because it's like, I feel like just like the homeless crackheads off the street, just like pretend to be sick so that the way they have a place to stay. Because I went through, the last time I was at Cornell's ER, I had some crazy bitch in the hallway, and she kept coming in my room asking me for cigarettes. And I was like, man, this is a hospital, number one. 2, I don't have cigarettes. Get the fuck out of my room. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. Like, she was asking everybody for drugs, cigarettes, something. I'm like, where are the doctors? Where are the nurses? Where's security? Why is no one controlling this crazy lady? No, she kept coming in my room. Cigarettes. Like, what? I had another guy stand up on the gurney, screaming his head off that he was going to jump and take everybody with him, and he's jumping into the lava. So I don't know what hallucinogenics he was on. Another one that was just, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, singing in the hallways, like, for an hour, just Jesus, Jesus. And I'm like, somebody sedate them or sedate me before I jump out a window. Oh, when I said that once, that I was going to jump out the window in the hospital, and they put me under observation because they thought I was going to self-harm. I'm like, guys, it's just an expression. Like, it's really, it's just, whatever. These hospitals, just, anyway, to say that I've had my fair share of crazy in the ERs is an understatement. So now all of a sudden, you hear, and I don't understand why you feel the need when you're in pain to scream, okay? It's not going to make you feel better, and it's not helping the situation, okay? We understand you're in pain. Screaming about it on the top of your lungs is doing nothing but pissing everybody else off. So we get this lady next to me, and we don't see her. She's just in the room next to me and screaming her head off. Help me, somebody help me. No one's helping me. Nobody's screaming. And I was like, oh, if this one doesn't shut the fuck up, I'm taking this IV pulled to her head. Like, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like other people are in the ER, like, sick, like, they're trying to sleep, and this lady's just screaming her head off. Like, and nonstop. And you see the nurse is going in and out, and it's just like, she's not stopping. Now she's throwing things, and you hear her throwing things, and the nurses are trying to stop her, and she's just out of her fucking mind. So I get up to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, I need to go and walk past this lady's room because I need to see what is going on in there. Okay, and I'm going to insert clips because I videoed through the wall, so that way you could hear what the fuck was going on. At one point, she sounded like a dying animal, like a dog or something. I don't know. Me and my mother were going to strangle her. And all the nurses wanted to strangle her. Just everybody was done with her shit.
Is she a dog?
Maybe a werewolf.
I don't understand.
Maybe a werewolf.
I don't understand.
I'm gonna go close the door and go listen to me. Shut the fuck up.
What is going on in there? Like, is anyone in there, or is she just screaming to herself?
She's screaming to herself. Maybe she needs a muzzle.
Okay, I'll go in there and give us something to scream about.
You were supposed to get they'll just throw you in the hallway. Don't give a shit about nobody. That's what you people do. I don't care where I am, okay? You remember your emergency room. You do not for me. You do not for no, you do not for me. Get away from me.
Can I give you the antibiotic? We do that, please.
I was supposed to get that how many hours ago?
Well, you're getting it now.
So I went to the bathroom, and I was like, I got to see what this lady looks like because I need a visual for what's going on right now. So I walked past the room, and she's throwing herself on the floor, okay? Throwing herself on the floor. She's throwing things off the bed. She's screaming and throwing her hands and kicking her feet like she's having like a temper tantrum like a 5-year-old. And I'm like, Who is this helping? Nobody. So I just go hysterical laughing because at this point I'm delirious. I want to go home, and this was just like enough. So I'm hysterical laughing. I come back in the room, and my mom's like, "What?" I go, "You gotta go. Like, you gotta go look at what's going on." So my mom goes, she walks over, and she comes back, and she's like, "Well, now I know why they kept looking at the floor." She goes, "I just thought she was a midget," and I was like, "What?" So she's like, "I don't know. They kept looking down. I thought she was just like a midget and tiny." And I go, "No, she's throwing herself on the floor like a lunatic." So this fucking lady, still going, She's screaming for like 2 hours at this point. My mother goes, "I'm done." She gets up, she goes in the room, and she goes and gets up in her face, and nobody stopped her. The nurses, the doctors, security, everybody just let my mother handle it. And she goes, "You need to stop what the hell you're doing." She goes, "There are sick people in here." She goes, "My daughter's sick. There are other people trying to sleep. They're trying to get you better. You cannot be treating the nurses like this. You need to shut up because I'm sick of your bullshit." And the lady's like, "Well, I'm hard of hearing." She goes, "Well, we all hear you. It's not hard to hear you, lady. Just because you're hard of hearing doesn't mean screaming is going to get anything accomplished." So that was that. My mother yelled at the lady, and she shut up for the rest of the night. Now, we leave, we go home. Okay, Saturday, I'm fine all day, yada, yada. Sunday rolls around, I'm fine. It's Mother's Day. I'm at my mom's house. I'm playing with the babies. I'm running around. Fine. Things to look out for if you have a blood transfusion are fevers, throwing up blood in your urine or your stool. They're common, reactions to a blood transfusion, and they can happen like a day or two after. So I was at my mom's, and towards the end of the night, I was like really cold. And I'm always freezing, but I was like beyond freezing, like shivering, like feverish, like felt like freezing. And I was like, I gotta go home. It's too fucking cold in my mom's house. I need 27 blankets, 40 coats. Like, I gotta go. So I was driving home, and I was like shaking the whole way home, like frozen. So when I got home, I called my mom. I was on the driveway, and I was like, I can't go in the house because I left the air conditioner on. I forgot. I'm too cold. I'm shaking in my car. I'm like, I got the seat heat on. I've got it blasting on fucking 85. Like, I can't get out of the car. So she's like, I'm coming there. So as she was driving there, I got really nauseous. And so we threw up a little blood, which I've never done before. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're going to have to take a little hospital trip. So I did not tell my mom while she was driving because she freaks out. So she gets there, and I was like, remain calm. And I just like showed her the bag, and I was like, okay, like remain calm. It's a possible reaction to the blood transfusion plus the fever, because I took my temperature and it was 100. So like we gotta go to the hospital. So now I'm just thinking we're gonna go there. They're gonna check like my stomach. They're gonna like for the nausea. They're gonna check my blood levels. We're gonna do a quick fucking thing. Like, I didn't think this was gonna turn into keep Lexi hostage for almost 9 days. That's what it turned into. So usually when I go to the hospital, I'm prepared. I have some kind of an idea that I'm going to the ER and I'm gonna be staying there. So I pack my pillows, my blankets, and I cannot eat the hospital food because they can't feed me there. Because vegan, soy-free, gluten-free does not exist in hospitals. Literally, my options are fruit that is a hit or miss, whether it's in a can or it's actual fresh fruit or it's sour or not. Usually white rice or a potato and some sort of frozen steamed vegetable and applesauce. Like, there's no protein, there's no nutritional value in any of it, and I need high protein for my liver to get better. So I make sure I cook everything at home and I'm prepared, and I meal prep, and I bring a little mini fridge. I bring my air fryer. I bring a little plug-in like hot plate. Like, I bring all of my food with me because they cannot feed me. Like, they just can't. And I can't be calling Uber Eats every day, and spend $5 bajillion. And like I said, not that really I can eat very many places anyway. So I always come prepared with my food. I didn't think to bring anything because, like I said, thought this was going to be a quick in and out thing. And I probably was going to be NPO. I wasn't going to be allowed to eat. NPO means they know nothing by mouth. Because I figured because I threw up, they weren't going to let me eat anything. So we just went. we got to the ER and my blood pressure was like 80 over 30. So I normally run low. I'm like a low hundreds, 110s, like high 60s, low 70s. Like that's where my blood pressure stays. I get like an 80 over 40 sometimes, like when I first wake up in the morning, like if I'm like really relaxed. But the minute I get up and like sit and like I put some kind of food in my mouth, I'm fine. And if it ever goes like low, I'll throw a little salt in my mouth and it just wakes my body up. And then I'm fine. So 80 over 30 for me was not so concerning to me. The hospital automatically is like, emergency sepsis, like she's dying. I'm like, I'm fine. And they're like, you're not dizzy, you're not lightheaded, you're not going to faint. I was like, no, I'm just fine. Yeah, I'm okay. So they're like, we got to bring your blood pressure up. I'm like, okay, so do it. Like, I go, bring me salt. I go, literally bring me salt. I go, and watch. I'll do it in a minute. Now, talking about the tooth. The teeth are in so much pain at this point. I'm like, there has to be an infection in my tooth. That's what I associated this with. The low blood pressure, the fever, and the throwing up blood. And it's very signs of infection. And I didn't take antibiotics when he was doing the root canals and stuff in my mouth because of all my liver issues. I'm allergic to a lot of different medications. I have weird reactions. It's stress on the liver. I was just like, if you don't see an infection in my tooth, I'm not just going to take the antibiotics just because. Like, if you see an infection, I'll take them. But he's like, nope, didn't see it. Okay, this pain is too bad, and it's coming back. It was getting better when I was in the hospital, but it's back. The pain is too bad for it not to be infected. So that's what I'm assuming it is. And I'm like, I need painkillers. I go, I already took Tylenol. I go, it's not working. I was like, I need something stronger because I go, the pain was so bad. Like it was going up into my brain and I just wanted to rip my head off. And they won't give you anything if your blood pressure's that low because that could drop your pressure even more. So I'm like, somebody bring me salt. I go, just bring me salt. Then like, now we're going to put fluids in you. So now I'm not putting 2 and 2 together. First of all, it's not my job to put 2 and 2 together, okay? This is their job. They're the nurses, they're the doctors. They're supposed to know these things. But apparently they don't know. So listen to me, okay? Anybody with chronic illness, you make sure you know your fucking disease front, backwards, and sideways. And you need to advocate for yourself and you need to tell them what to do when they're not doing something right. Okay? I don't care if I'm telling you how to do your job because this is my body. I've lived in it for 32 years and I know it a lot better than you that knows me for 5 minutes. Okay? They go over textbook. A textbook tells you, if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. You cannot treat everybody like a textbook case, especially me, because I got a lot of weird shit going on in here. If you go into the hospital and you see something's wrong or you don't feel right with what they're doing, you speak up and tell them to stop. Me, I didn't think that this was going to be a problem. Nor did I know there's just a medication that you could take called Mitadrin to raise your blood pressure. So they start pumping fluids into my arm. And now they had the whole bag around it to make the fluids go in faster. And as a liver patient, excessive amounts of fluid in my body, what happens? I bloat. So now my whole pocket is filling up with this fluid. And now the pocket is dispersing out into my tissue. So now the fluid is not just in the pocket, it's in the tissues of my skin. Where my stomach and my legs were swelling so much, my eyelids were literally popping out of my head. My face was swollen. I was like, stop it now. They put like 2 bags and they still couldn't get my blood pressure up. It was like 6 hours and they still couldn't get my pressure up. And I'm like, you need to stop putting this fucking fluid in me. I go, because this is not working. I said, my pressure's not getting any higher. So it even dropped a little lower. I think it went, my mom said it was like a high, like 79 over like 28 or something. I don't know. It was low. And I just kept asking for salt. I was like, somebody just bring me salt. I understand that is not a long-term treatment, but just to shock my body and get me out of this, give me salt, okay? And give me a fucking painkiller and then let's deal with the blood pressure, okay? Nobody listens to me. They put more fluid in me after. They're like, no, we have to. I'm like, I don't even have, I can't even speak at that point to argue because my tooth was in so much pain. So they come in and they're like, all right, we got you a bed upstairs. We're transferring you to the pediatric floor. I am 32 years old. Okay, I'm like, the pediatric floor? Why am I going to a pediatric floor? Like, Am I going to be in a room with like a 5-year-old kid? Is there going to be screaming children everywhere? Like, I don't understand why I would be going to a pediatric floor. Nor is a pediatric floor equipped to treat liver cirrhosis. So I don't, whatever. I don't know. I kind of fell asleep a little bit, woke up upstairs, like getting wheeled into a room, and I see now I'm like still like half asleep, like in like La La Land, and I see what. Listen, I don't mean to make fun of anyone, but this is the accurate description of what I see. What looks to be Albert Einstein reincarnated, sitting in the chair, in the bed next to me, beard and all, like very masculine features, like. And I go to the nurses. Excuse me, why is there an old man in my room? Like, I'm confused. First of all, you tell me I'm going to pediatric. Now I wound up in geriatric, and this is a man that is not a woman. And they're like, now the nurses are like doing a double check. I guess they hadn't checked in on him. I don't know. So now they're like, is this a male? Is it a female? Like, because, it's female in rooms with females. And I'm like, I don't need to be sharing a room with some 90-year-old man. So, lo and behold, it was a woman with a beard. Sure. Whatever. Now the doctor comes in. Now we're at hour 12 of me being there. Still in pain. Still, my blood pressure is not coming up. So the doctor comes in and I go, hi, excuse me. I'm going to rip my head off if someone doesn't give me pain medication. I said, and this blood pressure is not going anywhere. I said, so somebody find me some salt. And he's like, what do you mean salt? I said, when my blood pressure drops like this, I take salt. He goes, your blood pressure has been this way? Yes, just get me the salt. He finds me the salt. I take the salt. What the fuck do you think happens? My blood pressure goes up. Oh, what do you know? Lexi knew something. Lexi knew how to control her own body. If they only would have listened to me 12 hours ago. We get the salt. Now they can give me the mitadrin. Oh, by the way, there's a pill that does this. You had the fucking pill the whole time? You had this pill the whole goddamn time? Great. They gave me that pill, waiting for my blood pressure to come up again. They're still not giving me the painkillers. I go, guys, I'm going to rip my head off. What part of this do you not understand? They're like, oh, he wants you to get up to the 130s, 80s. I go, my blood pressure is never going to get to 130s. You could sit here all goddamn day and pump me with all the pills in the world. My blood pressure's not going there. So I finally got them to give me my fucking pain meds. And I went to sleep. Now they're running all these tests, the blood work, to this, to that. They come back and they're like, all right, well, you have something. We don't really know yet. Great. Now all of a sudden, my Albert Einstein neighbor over there, we'll call her Alberta, hard of hearing, so blasting. When I tell you volume 400, I didn't even think a TV went that loud. Trump rallies and Trump fucking... Listen, I don't care what she was blasting. I have no interest in politics. Don't give a flying rat's ass. But just... I cannot listen to the news in general at blasting at 400 all day and night. Like, I don't understand how many times you're going to listen to the same fucking thing. They just keep repeating themselves over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then I peek over and she's asleep. Out cold. So, I'm like, I had the nurses shut it off. I go, this bitch is fucking out cold sleeping and I'm listening to this fucking shit. My AirPods aren't drowning in and out. I already have a headache as it is. So that's what I dealt with for 2 days. 2 days of not knowing what the fuck was going on with me, and Alberta blasting fucking the Trump fucking whatever the hell she was doing. So, now that Alberta leaves, and I get a new roommate. And I'm still just hanging out, waiting for them to tell me what's wrong with me. The only thing they're doing is giving me mitadrin to keep my blood pressure up and giving me Tylenol to help my tooth. Like, I could have been doing this at home. So, I don't have food. So, I had to order food. So, now I have to spend all this fucking money to Uber Eats. And, there's like one place I could eat. I ordered from Rocket Roots. Rocket Roots literally saved my life that week because they're the only place that I could eat. And I spent probably $700 on food while I was there, which is asinine. Like, ridiculous, because your hospital can't fucking get me a 99 cents can of chickpeas that's a whole nother thing that I want to talk about. That could be a whole episode itself. The hospital food. We might do that next week. Because I'm tired of getting fed frozen vegetables and a baked potato that looks like a shriveled up ball sack. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. That's not food. It's not going to help me get any better. Anyways, Alberta leaves. I get a new roommate. We're going to call her Mona. Mona comes in. All right? I had friends on the brain. Remember Mona? She dated Ross. Mona. Her name is Mona. She comes in. She is 88 years old with dementia and hard of hearing, and she can't breathe, so she's on oxygen. So the daughter comes in with her and the husband, and the daughter works at the hospital. She's why the fuck can't I remember? Like a pastor kind of, but the Jewish version. I don't know. That goes around to the people if they want services. I don't remember. Chaplain. I don't really know what a chaplain is, but I know that's how she introduced herself, as Chaplain Mary. Chaplain Mary. Okay, we got Mona and Mary. So I don't know what the hell that means. She kept trying to talk to me. My mom was talking to her. I'm in the bed trying to sleep in so much pain from my tooth. And she just keeps trying to have a conversation with me. And I'm just like, lady, like, just, hi, nice to meet you. Can you please leave now? So now there's a whole commotion going on over there because they're setting up Mona. And she is, because once again, hard of hearing. They think that we are hard of hearing as well. So very loud. And I mean, I'm loud. But when I'm in the hospital, I'm a very respectful roommate because I know what it's like to be annoyed by my roommate. I wear headphones. I don't ever blast anything out on a speaker. I don't when my mom comes in and she's on FaceTime or phone calls, I'm always like, Mom, you gotta lower your voice. I'm never that roommate that's causing a fucking scene because I can't stand when my roommate does it to me. I want to throw them out the window. So I'm never that person. But, other people don't give a flying rat's ass. So she gets hooked up to the oxygen machine and has no idea where she is half the time. And so the husband and the daughter leave, and all night long, okay, she doesn't understand that she's in a hospital and that she's strapped to the wall to the oxygen tank and that she cannot get out of the bed. So she continuously gets up to get out of the bed and she fucking falls over and she trips because she's not supposed to walk by herself, and she fucking rips the fucking oxygen tank out of the wall. And I had to stop her a few times. My mom had to catch her leaving the room a couple of times until the nurses finally put a bed alarm on her. So now, it's 4 o'clock in the morning when I finally drift off my 4 minutes of sleep that you get in the hospital. And she's escaping from the bed. The bed alarms, the sirens are going off. The nurses are running in and out. And she just keeps repeating herself saying that, well, I got to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. Not knowing that she's got the fucking catheter in her, that she doesn't need to get up. And they explain it to her over and over again. And then she keeps saying, I'm wet. She's not wet. And then it's the same conversation 27 times because she keeps getting up to go to the bathroom. They put her back in the bed after all the alarms go off and she knocks the oxygen tank over and almost, rips the fucking thing off the wall, wakes me up. And then they put her back in the bed. She screams at them and tells her she's wet. They're like, you're not wet. She goes, but you're wearing gloves. Meanwhile, they're not wearing gloves. Then the nurse leaves and then she gets situated again. Then she thinks the remote for the fucking TV and to call the nurses is the telephone. So she keeps pushing the button for the nurses and the nurses say hello. And so she keeps thinking she's talking to her daughter and she keeps going, Mary, they left me here. Then she thinks she's talking to her husband. And then she's going, they took all my stuff. She's like, they took everything away. Your father left me in the middle of the street. I don't know where I am. Delusional, just all night long, talking to this remote. And I'm like, can I just get 4 minutes of peace and quiet? So that's what she does all night long. Then the daytime comes. Then the husband and the daughter come. Then she remembers where she is for 5 minutes. Then she blasts the Trump on the TV. And I'm like, why do all the old people need to just blast politics on the TV all night and motherfucking day? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then on top of that, so she's blasting the Trump. Oh, and then there's a button on the remote that plays spa music. I hate spa music. It gives me anxiety and gives me panic attacks. Okay, it's literally in my chart at acupuncture. Do not turn on spa music. Off. Put this fucking spa music on. I'm losing my shit. Okay? So we got Trump on the TV. We got the spa music blasting. She's screaming at the fucking remote. She thinks it's a phone. And now the husband decides he's going to blast his audio book with the little British man reading about, I don't know what. Like, sir, this is not your hospital room. Please wear headphones. If you're going to listen to something, just please bring headphones when you go to the hospital. Okay, please. AirPods, anything. Okay? I beg you. And your neighbor begged you. So if you don't want to be a pain in the ass roommate, bring fucking headphones to the hospital with you. So now they take her down for some tests. They take Mona. The husband is snoring, passed out sleeping, blasting this audiobook, still with the TV. I had to go outside and get the nurses. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't do this. I go, this has been going on for 4 days. I go, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing it. Like, I'm literally losing it. Now, on top of it, the husband keeps using my bathroom. The bathroom clearly states for patients only. So now I'm the only one that's been using the bathroom because she goes in the bed, in the catheter. I use the bathroom and I'm on Lasix, which is a water pill because they're trying to flush the fluid out of me. So I'm literally in the bathroom every 5 minutes. So it's like I get up and I gotta go to the bathroom and he's in it constantly. And like, what are you doing in my bathroom? And then he left the seat up and then he would pee on the seat and then he would leave toilet paper on the floor. And I'm like, this is not your home. And then he keeps walking in on me while I'm in the bathroom because the bathrooms don't fucking lock all of a sudden. So he keeps walking in on me. Like, I really don't need to be taking it, doing my business and having some 90-year-old man walking in on me in the bathroom. Like, I really don't. Like, so I went out and I go, you got to get me out of this room. You got to get her out of the room. Listen, I understand everyone gets old, the dementia, I feel bad, it's terrible. But these types of patients who are disruptive like this should be in a separate unit, okay? Where they're all the same, like everybody's kind of on the same page. I should not have to put up with this. I should not have to deal with this insanity when I'm trying to get better and get the hell out of there. Like, it's just... It's like in the middle of the night, she's screaming and yelling for things, and like I have to constantly get up and help, and it's like, it's not my job. I'm a patient. I should not have to be fucking taking care of this fucking lady next to me because the nurses are busy somewhere else. Like, it's ridiculous. So, anyways, that was the next roommate. She eventually leaves. So that's how we are with the roommate situation for now. Like 5 hours. It was like the greatest thing ever. So in the midst of all this, they come back and they tell me that I have a blood infection. They don't know what kind of blood infection, but I have a blood infection. Great. Lovely. So now they got to wait for this sensitivities report to come back so they can figure out what blood infection I have. In the meantime, they have to start me on an antibiotic, but I'm very reactive to these things, medications. I get weird reactions. So now it's like a guessing game of what Lexi can take where she's not going to react. So we had to test a couple of them, and I don't remember the one that we landed on that was okay. It's in my chart. So I do better with IV meds because they kind of bypass your liver. They don't have to be, they're not oral. They don't digest in your stomach, and they tend to be easier on the liver and work better with my body through the IV. So, like Dilaudid is the only painkiller I can take, but I can only take it through IV. I cannot take it orally because it fucks me all up. Which is another thing I always have to fight with them about because it says I have a Dilaudid allergy in the system, but there's a note that says IV only, not oral, and they always fight with me about it. And they're like, it's impossible. And I'm like, it's not impossible. Like, it's in there for a reason because I had a reaction from an oral, but not from the IV. And it's like, then they're like, well, we'll give you like morphine instead. I go, but I have reactions to both types of morphine. So why would you give me that when I'm telling you Dilaudid is what works for me? And like, it's like, I had to constantly fight with them. And then they would wind up doing what I said anyway. So it's like, I don't understand why you just get me aggravated for fucking an hour fighting with me when you're just going to write the script anyway. So, my doctor that I was dealing with, he did not know what to do with me. I think at one point I threatened his life and told him I was going to find him in his sleep if he did not let me out of there. I'm like, I got to go to work. Like, do you people not understand? Like, I got to go to work. And he's like, well, I'll write you a note. Are you going to write me a note to the bank? And PSEG and National Grid and, all my bills that I don't have to pay my mortgage, that, my bills are canceled this month. Because, like, if I don't go to work, I don't make the money. So, And I'm spending all my money on food because you can't feed me. So I'm going to live in a box in the street. Thanks. Okay. Get me the fuck out of here. So they had me on this IV meds, and my tooth was getting better. So I was like, it's definitely the tooth. Now they're like, oh, we think it was the paracentesis. It wasn't the fucking paracentesis. I get the paracentesis all the time. They send a fluid sample out. It always comes back clear. Definitely from the tooth. So I'm like, I want another paracentesis. Send me downstairs. Get some of this fucking fluid out. So I went for a para. Then they wanted to give me an MRI with contrast to see. No, they wanted to give me a CAT scan. They want to give me the CAT scan to see if what's up with my teeth. I get reactions to the contrast. So I need a Benadryl before I go down. They told them I was allergic, and now, so radiology will not take you if you say you itch or have an allergy to the contrast. They want you to go on a pre-med regimen before you go, which is steroids. I'm allergic to steroids. I can't take steroids. My body has very, very adverse reactions to steroids. Like, last time I had a steroid, my whole body swole, my throat was closing, like, it stayed like that for months. Like, my whole face was, I didn't realize how swollen I was until I look at pictures and videos now. I was literally swollen, red, itchy, puffy, my throat, like I couldn't swallow for, I'm telling you, months. My body was holding on to this. It took over a year to completely flush that steroid out of my system. And I was like, I am not. So anybody that wants to give me a steroid in a hospital, I automatically refuse. And they're like, well, it's malpractice if we give you a contrast without this because you're allergic to it. I said, no. I go, the danger here for me is the steroids. So you're trying to give me the steroids to protect me from the contrast. The contrast just gives me a little itchies. So if you give me a Benadryl, I don't itch. The steroid will send my throat to close. So how are you allowed to give me that, but you're not allowed to give me a Benadryl? It doesn't make any sense here. I'm like, I'm telling you the problem is the steroid more than anything. The contrast, nothing, I'm not going to die from it. It's just I get very itchy to the point of where it's not just an itch. It's where you want to rip your skin off. And it's because I'm so swollen and full of fluid, I will scratch so hard that I bust my skin open. And then I will start to bleed and this fluid starts to weep out and then you can get infected there. And so that's what I'm trying to avoid. Just me not ripping my skin off from itching. I'm not trying to take a steroid and have my throat close. So they were fighting with me about that. Wouldn't give me the contrast. So they did the CAT scan for no fucking reason because they couldn't see anything in my tooth anyway. They send the oral surgeon down. He goes, open your mouth. He goes, looks fine to me, and walks out. It's from my tooth. Now they come back and the doctor goes, I've never seen this in anybody's blood before. You have. Let me see if I can remember the name of it. And I'm going to write it here because in case I don't really, it's whatever the fuck I say. Aramonius hydrophilic caviar bacterium. Something like that. I'm going to write it here. Okay. That's what I had. He said he's never seen it in blood before. Great. Lovely. We love that. We love it. I have some weird fucking Harry Potter fucking potion disease floating around inside of me that you've never seen before. We love it here. I go, so now what? So we got to wait for the sensitivity report to come back to see what antibiotic will treat it. So I go, you don't know what antibiotic treats it? You're just guessing right now? He goes, basically. Sure. So we're just there chilling, taking this fucking antibiotic on a guessing game. I just want to go home. So now it's like day 7. We get that night when I had the room free for maybe 5 hours. I get a new roommate. We'll call her Sally. Where am I getting these names from? I have no fucking idea. Her name is Sally. She comes in late in the night, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's very quiet, and you could tell she's in there for pain. So she's she's not really talking much, but once again, all the commotion, the lights, the this, the moving, the beds, the this, the hook, whatever. I hear over here. Long story short, she has kidney stones. So I think she's in her late 60s, early 70s. She seems, because I'm, like I said, on the Lasix, constantly back and forth to the bathroom, so I'm always passing over there. And so she's just sleeping, asleep, fine. I was like, oh, finally a nice peaceful roommate that's not fucking psycho. So the next morning, because I actually got, 5. Well, actually, that night I was so fucking itchy. I don't know why. I always get really itchy at night because the sheets from the hospital, like from just constantly sitting in them, and I bring my own sheets. So if you saw, I posted a picture and a video. I bring my own sheets and my own blankets and my own pillows and all that stuff too. And it has to be black because, and I don't wear those fucking hospital gowns. Like, get those far away from me as humanly possible. It's not happening, bro. Not happening. Not catching me in one of those fucking things. The bleaches and the chemicals and stuff they use to clean like everything in the hospital, like the sheets, the this that I'm touching, I'm constantly fucking itchy. So at nighttime, I make them give me Benadryl because Benadryl knocks me the fuck out. Like, and because of my MTHFR gene, where I can't detox, my body holds on to it and it affects me for multiple days. And so I can take it at nighttime because knock me out, sedate me, so I don't have to deal with whatever's going on over there at this point. During the day, like, so I could be a functioning human, like I'll take a non-drowsy Allegra on a normal basis, but if it's really bad, I have to take the Benadryl. So I was itching like crazy. They double Benadrylled me, and usually, I'm telling you, knocks me out. I was wide awake. So by the time I fell asleep, I kind of got up the next morning. I was drowsy as fuck, and I was overhearing what was going on with my roommate. So they were taking her down for a procedure, and she was with her husband, and you could tell like her and the husband weren't really well hospital versed, such as myself. So they were taking her down, and they said a minimally invasive. It sounded like they were going to remove her kidney stone, minimally invasive, which means laparoscopically. So they sounded very nervous because the nurses and the doctors did not. Well, the surgeon was supposed to come in and explain to them and never did. They were not explained what was going to be done to her. As before they left the room, it was not explained to them. So, because I pieced it together from what I know. But a normal person would have no idea what the fuck that they told them. So now they're a little confused. And so I come out to go to the bathroom, and I was just like, hi, I'm Lexi. I'm like, by the way, don't worry, because the husband was like, I can't believe they're going to have to cut you open and this. I was like, don't worry. I was listening to what they said. I'm like, kidney stones, minimally invasive. They're going to do a laparoscopic. You're going to get a little slit. I go, it's not what you think. They're not slicing you open like a can opener. Don't worry. She's like, oh, aren't you the bearer of great news? And I was like, yeah, just me doing my job. So she was asking me some questions, and she's like, I don't understand, like, you're so young in here and you know all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's not my first rodeo. So if you need anything, let me know. I'm over there for consultations. So they take her down, and then whenever they bring her back up, I hear the nurses telling her something like, oh, you're going to have to pass the stone, this, that. And I was like, I thought they were taking her to remove the kidney stone. And because now I'm just sitting there fucking bored out of my goddamn mind because we know what's wrong with me. We're just waiting for this report. I'm literally just sitting there waiting. And they don't know if, I'm like, how long is this report going to take? And they're like, it could be a day, it could be 2 days, it could be 12 days. It could never come back. I said, so what, do you just fucking keep me here forever? Like, I go, like, it is ridiculous. So yeah, now her daughter comes in, and like the husband comes up, and the surgeon never came to see her after. Nobody answered any of her questions. The doctor wasn't answering the phones. The nurses were trying to explain, but they can't really tell you what went on at surgery. The surgeon can only do that. So the daughter wrote down a bunch of questions, and I knew she left them there, and just like, I was just kind of listening to whatever was going on in there. So the husband and the daughter left her, and then she's very like soft-spoken, and like she wasn't really, sticking up for herself, and wasn't really asking a lot of questions. And I just heard her talking on the phone with her like daughter, saying, we don't know, the surgeon won't answer me, they can't find him, like I don't know what's happening, they didn't tell me. So I go over, and I'm like, do you need me to find somebody? I said, because I'm on a fucking rampage on this hospital trip. I already threatened the life of my doctor 12 times. And she was like, oh no, it's fine. She's like, I don't know, they just don't answer me. She's like, the surgeon won't answer me. She's like, we left voicemails, my daughter, my husband. I was like, hold. I got in the hallway. I go, listen to me. I go, where's my roommate surgeon? I go, because nobody has explained to her what the hell's going on. She's in a bed. She's in pain. Nobody's giving her anything for it. I go, like, nobody's answering her back. I go, you can't just leave her here with no answers. So they were like, oh, let me, yeah, I'll give you like you. So eventually they hunt down a doctor. So the doctor comes in, and she's not really asking questions because she doesn't know what to ask. And so the doctor is kind of explaining, but it's still not the surgeon. And so I peep my head around, and I go, hi, excuse me. So I'm going to step in a little bit here. I was like, what I name her? Sally? Sally, she's like, oh yeah, go ahead. So I was like, listen to me. I go, her surgeon is not answering her phone calls, which is absolutely ridiculous. I go, she has no idea what you did inside of her. I'm like, this is asinine. Like, where's her answers? I go, her daughter left her an index card with a bunch of questions she has. Somebody needs to call the daughter back. I go and explain to her what went on during surgery. I said, because she's sitting here, still has a kidney stone inside of her and doesn't understand why it wasn't removed. Well, I'm not really sure why it wasn't removed. You'd have to talk to the surgeon. Exactly. So go find her surgeon so we can answer these questions. I go, she's in here in pain. She doesn't know what you did or why you did it. And nobody's answering her. So he was just like, I go, go. I should be a fucking one of those patient advocates. I'd get fired because I could mouth off as a patient. I'd get fired. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much for asking. She's like, you need to be my advocate. I go, I got you, girl. Don't worry. So then she tells me she's 82. And I'm like, 82? I'm like, what fucking fountain of youth did you find? I'm like, damn. I'm like, her and Foxy, like, I'm like, so then I find out she's not eating, that nobody's feeding her. They still have her on NPO. I'm like, they're not feeding you? And she's like, no, they haven't given me anything. So now I go get the nurses. I go, her procedure's already dead and done from yesterday. Like, you haven't fed this girl. And they're like, oh, what? I go, you have her on NPO. She's not NPO anymore. I go, you have to feed her. She has no food in her. She's done. Her procedure's done. Like, feed her. So I was taking care of Sally to distract myself from trying to kill my doctor. So now Sally, she goes home because there's nothing she could do. Oh, well, then because she's trying to pass the kidney stone. So now she's in and out of the bathroom. You know, and she's hobbling in and out of the bathroom, takes her a long time. And when you're trying to pass a kidney stone, you urinate blood. So now there's blood everywhere, all over the toilet. It was like, so now I'm not going in that bathroom. I left that bathroom for her and I was going in the hallway because like they can't clean it fast enough for me to use it with the Lasix. And then some fucking bitch at the fucking desk comes over because you can't use that bathroom. It's for staff. I said, you cannot clean my bathroom fast enough. And my roommate is pissing blood all over the seat. I said, and that's disgusting. And I'm not sitting on it. So unless you have somebody living in my room with me, constantly cleaning and bleaching and disinfecting the toilet every 4 minutes, I said, I'm not going in there. I go, I've been using this bathroom for a whole day. I said, leave me alone. I go, I don't have an infection. I'm not bleeding out of my asshole. Like, I go, I'm literally just peeing because you have me on Lasix. Okay? I flush the toilet. I don't piss on the floor, on the seat. Like, leave me be. Then my favorite was this little kid comes in, one of these, like, I guess the assistants or I don't really know what his job is, but he looks like about 4.5, and I could snap him in half like a twig. And his job is just like walk the patients around, like, you know, with a walker, like to get some exercise. He comes in and comes over to me and goes, would you like me to grab the walker and bring you for a walk? Little boy, I will take you for a walk. Okay. I go, no. He's like, did you need help getting out of bed? No. That's okay. Are you sure you don't want to go for a walk? I'm sure. It's fine. I really don't need to see the view. I'm good. I'm like, and then it's like everyone kept asking me, like, because like to go down for procedures. Oh, let me get your wheelchair. No, I don't need a wheelchair. Oh, but no, I need a wheelchair. Or it's like, oh, can you walk? Yes, I can walk. I can run. I can skip. I can jump. I can fucking run down this hallway and out the door if I really wanted to. I'm going to scale the fucking walls of the window and climb out of here next. It's just like, I go, I'm not sick to be here. I go, you're literally just keeping me hostage. Like, somebody let me out. So I was losing my mind. I was losing it. Like, finally, he comes in and he's like, so we still can't find the sensitivity report. Okay, great, lovely. We love this. I'm like, when is this going to be back? Because I cannot stay here anymore. I can't do it. Like, I can't stay here anymore. I can't. I gotta take a shower. I gotta go to my own bath. I gotta get out of these fucking hospital sheets and the air and the food. Like, I need to go home. I need to cook. I need to be a normal human. I have to get out of here. So he's like, well, we still haven't found an antibiotic. So you would have to go home with a PICC line. Go put the fucking thing in my arm right now. I go ahead. Put it in. I don't care. I have to give myself what? Antibiotics for 10 days? Fine. Put it in me. I don't care. As long as it gets me out of here. He goes, are you sure? I go, put it in me. I don't care. Put the fucking PICC line in my arm. So he goes, I'll be back. He leaves. Now it's Friday. So if they don't get it done by Friday, there's no one over the weekend to do it. I'm trapped there till Monday. What does he do? Disappears for 6 hours and doesn't come back. When I tell you I was on a manhunt all day, he came into my room at 10 o'clock in the morning. The fucking team to put the PICC lines in, leave at 3 o'clock. Every half hour, I was in that hallway asking every nurse to text him, call him, page him. I was on a mission to find this motherfucker. And he was leaving us on red. This is when I threatened his life. I was so done. Then we finally hunted down infectious disease. But she was like, oh, I got to talk to him first. And I was like, he was supposed to come talk to you at 10 o'clock this morning. Well, he didn't. Okay, great, lovely. I'm so happy everybody's doing their jobs. So then infectious disease goes, well, what's the plan? Are you asking me? Because my plan is leave. Put the PICC line in my arm and I want to go. Like, shouldn't you be telling me what the plan is as the doctors? Nope, I'm doing the job. Okay, great. Put me on fucking payroll while you're at it. Maybe I'll get paid for being in here. So we finally track him down. Guess what? The PICC line people are gone for the day. So now I have to stay. I have no choice. Next day, sensitivity report still does not come back. I was like, I'm not staying here. I go, pick any antibiotic. I go, the one you're giving me right now is working, correct? I said, so put the PICC line in my arm and let me go on my merry way. They check my platelet count. My platelets are too low to put a PICC line in. I go, so give me a bag of platelets. I go, put the fucking platelets in my arm. I go, I've had them before. Put the platelets in. Oh, and the thing about blood transfusions and platelets, because, I'm a sick fuck. So the first time they did it. So, platelets and blood transfusions, you're getting someone else's blood. And this is what comes to my mind. The first time that I had it done, I was like, so someone else's blood's going inside of me, right? Like, this is like a bunch of people's blood in a bag. Because the platelets is like a combination of like people. And the blood transfusions are all, I think, a single individual. So I've got like 10 blood transfusions and I got like 2 rounds of platelets. So God only knows how many fucking people's blood are floating around in me. So I was like, so all these people are just like floating around inside of me? And they're like, essentially. I'm like, so next time I have sex, like, is it going to be considered an orgy or, like, what's the deal with that? My mother goes, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, it's a good question. The nurse went like completely white, had no idea what the fuck to say to me. Had no idea that I was going to fly out of my mouth, but there's no filter. When I had my gallbladder surgery, I woke up. I was cute the whole week for my gallbladder surgery. Okay, I was in my little cute outfits and shit. And then I finally go down for surgery a week later. And I come up out of the room and, there's this fucking hot ass goddamn nurse in there. And I was like, who are you? Oh, I'm your new nurse. And I'm like, I gotta pee. I'm not letting him bring me to the fucking bathroom like this. So he left and I got myself up after gallbladder surgery, marched my ass to that bathroom, changed out of the fucking hospital gown. That's the only time I'll wear a hospital gown is when I have to go into surgery. I changed back into my clothes, straightened my hair, fixed myself, got back in the bed. And then when he came back in, he's like, do you still have to go to the bathroom? Sorry, I was taking care of another patient that peed the bed. And I was like, oh, no, it's fine. I'm done. He goes, oh, you wet the bed too? And I was like mortified. I was like, no. Because, Lexi. I was like, believe me, if it's wet down there, it's not from peeing the bed. Once again, he was like, I'm sorry. Don't bring me a hot nurse after I just came out of anesthesia. I'm really not going to give a flying fuck what comes out of my mouth then. Anyway, I digress. Where were we with this? I don't remember. Now we're talking about orgies. We went from Trump rallies and fucking blood infections to orgies. We are all over the place today. Oh, yes, the platelets. So they don't want to do that. They come back in and they're like, it's too dangerous for the PICC line. Take this oral medication. So I fucking take it. I get itchy. Like, great. So now I have to take the Allegra before I take this. It's a whole fucking thing. Anyway, they sent me home. Finally, after I was driving them up the wall with this oral medication. Now I have this oral antibiotic. I'm on levofloxacin, something. I don't fucking know. I don't think it's working because they were just guessing because the sensitivity report still I'm out. How many days? I'm out since Monday. It is now Friday. still do not have the sensitivity report. So they still would have kept me there because they still don't know what antibiotic is treating it. And my teeth were getting better when I was in the hospital on the IV antibiotics. My teeth are getting worse now. So I don't think that whatever antibiotic they picked is working. So now I'm going to have to call them about that and get a new antibiotic because their guessing game did not fucking work. And now I have to deal with getting 38 pounds of fluid off of me. So when I stepped on that fucking scale in the hospital, I lost it. 38 pounds of fluid need to come out of me. 38 pounds. Do you understand? 38 pounds. It's all water weight, but stuck in my skin. So I have to take Lasix, the water pills, and pee it all out is the only way it's going to come out. Do you know how long it's going to take to pee out 38 pounds? I'm so pissed. Like, it is summer. Well, you wouldn't know what the weather today. It's fucking gross. It's 50 degrees. It's summer. I want to wear my crop tops and I want to be able to walk and not have fucking pregnant legs. Like, I bartend. I'm on my feet all day. By the end of my shift, I'm like fucking waddling. Like, I can't walk. It's ridiculous. I can't. Anyways. So yeah, that was my last hospital stay. Today, I went and got my paracentesis. And I told them, if you don't check my blood work before I leave here, I'm not coming back. I don't care what my fucking hemoglobin level is. I'm not coming back. So we did not have to go back today. Is that all? Is that all that happened in that trip? I don't really fucking know. I think that's all. So that was my last 9 days. Yeah. It was great. It was lovely. It's wonderful, wonderful time it was. So much fun. I had to watch the Subway series in the hospital, so I couldn't even scream at the TV. They took my blood pressure during the game. Then that's when it went up to the 128 over like something, and I was like, all you had to do was fucking put the Mets game on instead of giving me fucking fluid. Anyways, that was my lovely little hospital trip. And we may or may not still have a blood infection that she don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I think that's about it for this. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? I don't know. I think I talked about enough. My lighting has completely changed since the beginning of the video because it is now morning time. I think it's like 6 a.m. Also, like I said, if you send me emails and stuff, I'm getting back to those. So feel free to send in your stories. Let me know if you want me to talk about them. If you have any questions you want me to answer on the next episode, the links are all down there. You can email, DM me, message me, comment. Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, you can download the podcast. If you're on YouTube, like it, subscribe, do all the fun things so you know where to find me. Is there any like personal life updates? Let's see. Well, besides just being fucking trapped in a hospital, not much has went on. And I have a date tomorrow, so I haven't been on one of those in forever. So we shall see how that goes. I'm like, every time he says something good, I'm like, when's it gonna turn bad? I was like, because it's me. I was like, it's like I go, something's got to be wrong. Something's got to be wrong. I'm like, he's a Yankees fan. We'll see. I'll keep you updated, or I won't. You don't need to know everything. All right, so that is another episode of The Witch Bitch is Sick. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me. Now I'm going to attempt to get sleep because it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I probably should get at least a nap in. But I also have to meal prep. I'm going to nap. Am I the only psycho on this sleep schedule or non-sleep schedule? I don't fucking know. Anyways, Hasta la vista, bitches.